Sabonis and Randle both could have really good games, but they're just a little too expensive. And at forward in particular, I think there actually are a lot of guys in the mid-range. So my favorite forward on this slate is probably someone like Michael Porter Jr., Jaren Jackson. We did get one piece of news today that Scotty Barnes is doubtful for the Raptors. So that could open up minutes for Chris Boucher, maybe someone like that. So I know it's a little bit of a cop-out not to pick an expensive forward, but I just think there are a lot of forwards in the mid-tier who look really, really good. So I'm going to those guys instead.
Mr. Whalen, how about you, dude?
Yeah, I feel mostly the same way. Like Matt said, it's like you're never going to sit there and say, like, there's no chance Sabonis or Randle have big games tonight. But I think there are maybe wiser ways to spend that money. If I had to choose between those two, however, I think I would lean Randle. Seems like he's in a good spot to potentially bounce back. 3 straight games under 17 points for Julius Randle, which is basically unheard of for him since the start of last season. But he still provides you with such a high floor with the rebounding. He's still been handing out a ton of assists, even though the scoring hasn't been there over those last few games. I think Miles Bridges at 7,900 is still a pretty decent deal. His price is up, almost $1,000 since the start of the year, but he's been worth it pretty much every single night. Hasn't slowed down at all. And another name, in that Raptors game with Scotty Barnes likely out for this one, OG Anunoby at 7,400. Even with Barnes in the lineup the last few games, he's been playing a ton of minutes, up close to 40 per game. I don't think that changes tonight. So you could look to Chris Boucher, like Matt said. You could even maybe look to Khem Birch, who probably picks up some minutes. Precious Achiuwa's playing time has been down a little bit these last couple of games anyway. So that Raptors game, I think, is the area to target for value at the forward spot.